Mr. Bob here. I've got something here that's guaranteed cling film, guaranteed to protect your new tattoo. It'll be hygienic, breathe, you can have a shower in it, guaranteed. Actually, that's a load of bull. This is not sterile. And is it breathable? Well, I won't say wrap it round your face and test it, because I can tell you it's not breathable and not sterile. It has a use for emergency first aid on burns, open wounds, things like that. Better than nothing to stop bacteria, germs getting in, but that's for emergency first aid. So bear in mind, a new tattoo is actually an open wound. It's actually an open wound with a load of ink in as well. So you don't want to put something on that's not sterile. Instead, invest a little bit more and get some Dermalise. You can check out the Dermalise website, and they've got a YouTube film as well. It's easy to apply. You peel it off, stick it on, and there's a thin layer of plastic, and you just peel that off and it's done. This is sterile. I repeat, sterile. It's also breathable, which is fantastic. And unlike cling film, you can go in the shower and wash, and it stays on. Brilliant. But as that's sterile, you've got to make sure your tattoo is as sterile as possible, and your hands. Or if your tattoo's on your back or somewhere else and you have a friend to apply it, make sure their hands have been washed and are as sterile as possible. No smoking, no dirt, nothing like that. Don't use soap or cleaner that's got chemicals in. Use something pure, something as pure as you. So clean hands, clean tattoo, Dermalise. When applying it, a tattoo like this, I wouldn't put one big piece on. I put cut it 4 pieces, maybe 5, it can overlap. You might say why? That's because if I need to remove a piece, for whatever reason, I don't have to remove it all, just a little bit. If you do have to remove it, in the shower, warm water, and just gently peel it off. This short film is about tattoo aftercare. So we've got the Dermalise, which is sterile, on a nice sterile, or as much as we can, open wound, and that can stay on 4 days-ish, maybe even a bit more. Maybe you need to change it after a couple of days. What I found, by the way, this is just part 1 or phase 1 of my first ever tattoo. What I found was that there was a little bit of liquid that built up at the bottom of the tattoo, and it formed a little bubble in the Dermalise. So all I did, got a pin and just pierced it and stroked it down, and the fluid, which was fine, just came out. So anywhere where there's a bit of a blob, bit of a bleb, jab, 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 not jabbing my skin, and then just stroked the liquid out. Remember, fluid will drain down. Once it's out, I then cut another little piece of Dermalise and stuck it on top. That was fine. After 3 days, I changed it. So again, warm shower, cleaned all around, clean hands, and gently took it off, cleaned it, reapplied it. Took it completely off after day 5, and it was fine, very much like this. No scabbing, nothing untoward, bit of fluid, which is normal. I always thought tattoos should scab, but actually they shouldn't. That's if they've not kind of gone quite as good as they could. But this healed very well. This is nearly 2 weeks old now, but it's been like this since day 5. All that's happened was it gets a bit dry. So you need some moisturiser, and got a jar here, moisturiser. I'm going to get some out, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat the moisturiser. Yes, eat the fucking moisturiser. Because what you want is moisturiser that's good enough to eat. So I'll just put the jar down and moisturise it 2 or 3 times a day, or 4 times. Less is actually more. And gently rub it in. Remember, in the early days it's still healing. Mine's actually healed now, so don't rub it in too hard, rub it gently. And again, make sure your hands are clean. And that's all that you do. I'm going to rub the rest of the moisturiser over my face and head. So you might be thinking, is it off his head? He's just eaten moisturiser. Well, personally, I don't want to put anything on my skin that's not safe enough to eat. So, perfect moisturiser, coconut oil. In this case it's raw organic. In the UK you can get it for prices from about £8 a litre, depending where you buy it from. If you want to go a bit cheaper, you can get non-organic. Again, it's all food grade, and this one is about £1.65. So what's that in dollars? A couple of dollars, something like that, and that's half a litre. You can cook with this and you can moisturise. This one's got no smell or taste of coconut, but the raw organic one does. So little and often, in the early days, stroke it on carefully. You don't want it to dry out, but you don't want thick layers. But just think about it. Do you really want to be putting chemicals on your skin? And that, my friend, should be it. If you have any adverse reactions to the tattoo, to the ink, then contact your tattooist and contact a doctor. A friend of mine, he got a tattoo and had a reaction to some of the colours used, and he had to have 2 courses of antibiotics. Not good. And it scabbed. Mine, no problems. As I say, this is phase 1. I'll be talking more about how the process went, and it was from the Everblack company, Sheffield, England, done by Matt. Excellent place. So enjoy your tattoo, respect it, take care of it, respect yourself, take care of yourself. More later.